Welcome to the Common Thread. I'm your host, Mike. I'm glad you're here. Before we dive in, take a second to like, subscribe, and drop a comment if something hits home with you. This wasn't the episode I planned to share today. The original, it's gone. Deleted, no backups. And maybe that's exactly where today's episode needs to begin. Not with what was lost, but with what still matters. Because maybe you've been there too. You gave something your all, your job, a relationship, a dream. I've had to start over more than once, not always on my terms, but sometimes I just walked away. Other times, I was asked to step back. Not because the work wasn't strong, but because the way I showed up didn't fit the model I was never meant to fit. It took time to realize leaving those positions wasn't a loss, it was a redirection, a clearing of space for what comes next. It reminded me, showing up authentically with integrity sometimes disrupts systems that were never built to hold that kind of truth. And yeah, I was angry, but I let myself feel it. I cried, I processed it, and then I got right back up. That's what I've learned the hard way. Give yourself time to feel it, but don't sit in it for too long. 2 days, max. That's all I gave myself. And then I moved forward with new energy, more purpose, and a better understanding of who I really am. Because every time I had to rebuild my career, identity, direction, purpose, I've uncovered something deeper, something more me. I've shifted from chasing validation to building something grounded. And I've learned what I carry still matters, even when no one else acknowledges it. The original episode was a beautiful conversation with my friend Chami. We talked about owning your story, leaning on your people, and how vulnerability isn't weakness. It's the doorway to connection, healing, and clarity. That conversation is still coming. But this one's about the in-between, the messy middle, the moment after everything changes and before anything is fixed. We live in a culture obsessed with image, pretending we're always fine. But real life, it's raw. It's unfiltered. It knocks the wind out of you before it teaches you how to breathe again. This is for anyone who is navigating that space, for the one who's starting over, not because they want to, but because life demands it. For the one rethinking everything they thought was stable. I've been there, and I've learned. These moments are sacred because this is where you find what's real. This is where you find you. I will keep telling the truth, whether it's polished or not. I will stay grounded in my values. I will lead with integrity. I will show up with purpose. And I will keep creating, even when the ground underneath me shifts. This podcast is part of that shift, not because it's perfect, but because it's a passion of mine, because it's honest. It's because stories like yours and mine, they still matter. Someone once asked, why do I do so much? My answer is because I care, because that's who I am, because I am not done. Another colleague also said that they were impressed by how I was committed until the very end. Well, that's me, because even when I could have just checked out, I didn't. I stayed fully, passionately, with intention, and focused on others. So here's what I want you to hear. When life reroutes, you adjust. You stay in the driver's seat and don't wait for someone else to validate your vision. And if they don't get you, let them. If they don't understand you, let them. That's not your burden. Their discomfort doesn't define your worth. I picked that up from a Mel Robbins episode, and I wish someone had told me sooner. Let them, and then keep going. My faith reminds me it always works out, and it does, and it always has, and it always will. So if you're listening right now, and you're in the middle of a pivot, your breakdown, your turning point, this is your permission to keep on going, to build something new, to tell the truth louder, to be more you. Your story is not over. It's evolving. Drop a comment below. What have you had to rebuild? Someone out there needs to hear your story. Share it. Like, subscribe, send this episode to someone who needs it right now. Let's stop pretending we have it all together. Let's start honoring the courage it takes to grow. This is The Common Thread. Until next time, keep going.